It is 10 a.m. and we're together on LinkedIn. I'm Amy Copeland. My surprise guest is the amazing Elizabeth Carter. Good
I'm
morning.
really sorry for not being Jo Wood.
Well, we can't all be Jo Wood, obviously.
We can't all be Jo
Unfortunately,
Wood.
Jo Wood can't be with us today. But I think we're still going to have a hoot, and we're so glad that you've joined us. We want to talk about the Bookkeepers Summit. It is the most exciting thing I think we've got coming up for bookkeepers, and you definitely should be there. Whether you're thinking about being a bookkeeper, whether you're already a bookkeeper, or whether you work with bookkeepers, and particularly those of you who have a team of bookkeepers, the very best, a bevy of bookkeepers. So, Elizabeth, what are you most looking forward to?
Me personally, I'm looking forward to seeing all the members. This is when the magic happens. And I was going to say, from an organising point of view, I'm looking forward to it being over. No, I'm not. It is a great collection of people. And what I really enjoy is walking into the room at the start and seeing everybody greet each other. We know that people come along to the Bookkeepers Summit and they might not necessarily know anybody, but we know that they're going to leave with great friends and great contacts. And so many great friendships and business relationships have started at the Bookkeepers Summit. So whatever stage you are at in your bookkeeping career, it's a really good place to meet your tribe, to find your fellow bookkeepers. And it's just a reminder, really, that all the other events that you go to, those accountants are there as well. And this event and this space and this content is all for bookkeepers. And that's what makes it different.
Yeah, it's a really safe, welcoming space, isn't it? I was just remembering at the advisory council the other day, we discussed these badges we used to have. And I was like, I've still got the badges. What you're going to be able to do at the Bookkeepers Summit is get yourself a badge like this that says whereabouts in the world you're from. We've got Wales here, Scotland. We didn't break it down, I'm afraid, for the Scots and the Welsh. But we've got a badge, so you can grab yourself a badge, and then you can actually just gravitate towards people who are geographically similar to you. And of course, if you've got people in your branch, you'll all be wearing matching badges, hopefully. And if you find yourself in a group of people in your area and you don't have a branch yet, let's set one up. I think the Bookkeeper Summit is the place to do it, isn't it?
Yeah, that makes
it so helpful. That's how you kind of extend that kind of Bookkeeper Summit feeling.
And so some branches all come together, don't they? Some travel and tribes, Lincolnshire, they always arrive together. So it's good people to connect. And so many of our branches now are virtual, aren't they, as well? And this is a good opportunity to be in the room. So should we talk a little bit about what happens and why it's different when you get there? That this is not an account for people who haven't been before. This is not an accounting
conference, is it? Obviously it's smaller, so that's probably the first thing that you'll notice is it's not as that magnificent / overwhelming as Accountex. So it's got this lovely feel, but we are in a brand new venue, so it's quite a magnificent venue. The QE2 is Queen Elizabeth II, the second conference centre, Queen Elizabeth II, and it's right opposite Westminster Cathedral, isn't it? I always say cathedral, it's Abbey, isn't it?
Yes, it's very impressive.
Very impressive. Right next to Parliament Square. So right next to the Houses of Parliament. So you feel like you've really arrived. And then it's that lovely welcome, isn't it? And all the content is going to be for bookkeepers. And that's bookkeepers of any size, any persuasion. But the majority of ICB bookkeepers are running either a small business or employed in a small business. So it's got a little bit more of that kind of, I was going to say passion. Yeah, it's got a bit more of a passionate flavour, hasn't it? And everyone's sort of kind of in it together. I'm just wondering who we've got in the chat here. Are you guys coming? Mihal, who I first met at the Bookkeepers Summit, and Chi Yun. Did we first meet at the summit? Possibly.
Hero the Cat is not coming to the summit. Unfortunately,
as well. Sheila, have you been to the summit? And if so, why have we not met before?
So it's different because there is an exhibition. And so you're going to meet your favourite software vendors there and hear from them. But also there's lots of new vendors as well, lots of new people, perhaps smaller ones that you haven't heard of before. And you've got to think really that it was only a couple of years ago this tiny little company called Apron came along to the summit for the first time. And so you've got to think that you're going to come along. We like to pick software vendors that are in line with what bookkeepers need. And so we've got some really exciting new vendors coming along as well for you to discover. So we have the exhibition. You'll come along. There'll be there's all your food and drink is included, so you don't have to think about feeding yourself, which is a great thing. Like, you don't have to worry about what's for dinner. And so there's an exhibition. You'll come along. There's be lovely tea and coffee, and then there's we have a conference room, and we kick off the day. Who kicks off the day, Amy?
I think I get that job. It's the best job ever. Usually I'm wearing my red suit, which I only wear once a year at the Bookkeepers Summit. And then every time anyone sees me, they're like, why aren't you wearing a red suit? I'm like, I only gets that once a year. It's a bit too much, really, for the kind of everyday. It's not a midweek. But no. So we kick off the day full of energy, and then we're all together, aren't we, for some of the day? But then we kind of split off into different streams.
Yeah. So for the first time this year, we're having different tracks because every bookkeeper is different, and they might need different things. And it's not so much that the tracks are themed. I'm really sorry about my excited cat. It's not so much that the tracks are themed. It's more that there's just more variety. Let me just I've got the program. Let me just give you.
It's the first time in a long time, isn't it? Because actually, back in the day, last time we were at the QE2 a few years ago, for all those OGs of the bookkeeping world, you'll remember going to the QE2, and we did have separate streams there. But it's kind of it's mainstream streaming, isn't it?
So let me give you some of the highlights. We're really pleased to have Emma Jones with us. She's a small business commissioner, and for anybody who is involved in helping your clients get paid, she's really I'm going to say mainlining. She's really focusing on late payments and what bookkeepers can do for that, to support that. But she's going to be talking just about the role of the bookkeeper in supporting small businesses and so supporting your clients.
And she is, let me say, one of the most inspiring women I think I've ever met. I mean, she can get stuff done. She's super smart. She's incredibly lovely, very humble, but just kind of knows everybody. And it's so complicated to work within government. So she's a non-government person, let's say, who's now been sort of moved into this kind of arm's length body to try to get stuff done.
We talk about this a lot.
Started Enterprise Nation, which was a huge community, is still a huge community of small businesses and freelancers. So she just knows a lot about running businesses and helping other people run businesses. And she just is, she speaks and will listen. Basically, she's really, really one to watch, I'd say.
I think as well, she gets it, doesn't she? When we talk to her, she gets about the role of the bookkeeper, because she's used bookkeepers and championed bookkeepers for her own business, for her own enterprises. So I think her understanding of small business and your bookkeeper clients and bookkeepers is really important. And we also return this year with the Fever Pitch, which is a really popular part of the day. It kind of kicks everything off, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. So we put our exhibitors to the test, and we get each exhibitor to send their best person to stand up on the stage and tell us why they're amazing for 1 minute. And we do that at the beginning so that you can get a real sense of, who you're interested in. And you might say, oh gosh, I've never heard of Ember. Who's Ember? Or the likes of those kind of smaller emerging apps that Elizabeth was talking about. So yeah, it's really fun, and there's like a clock ticking, so it's quite sort of it's quite intense.
It's high pressure.
And some people are good, and some people are not so good, and some people are nervous. And some people crush it.
We've got Mr. Craig Ogilvie coming on stage as well. Now, Craig is everywhere. We're not denying that. But what's going to be different about what Craig's doing is that he's going to be answering your questions. So if you've got any queries about MTD, let's not pontificate. Let's go straight to the source of power, the source of all the answers. So we'll be putting something out beforehand in terms of letting people ask Craig those questions as well.
because he knows it. And if it's not getting done, if bookkeepers are finding that it's not getting done, again, he's the man who can make a difference. So he's been really, really helpful. And quite a lot of members, actually, at the advisory council have been in touch with Craig and just said he's really helped me with the beta testing and things like that. So he's very much on the bookkeepers' side. So very grateful to him for coming.
In actual fact, Craig Ogilvy's a finalist in the
yes, that's true.
Bookkeepers Champion Award.
So he's going to have to be at the Luca Awards as well, isn't he? But he's Bookkeepers Champion, because he really has made a big difference, I think. And also he, you know, it's easy for him because he says working with bookkeepers is incredible, as we all know. So lucky him too. But yeah, he's one of the shortlisted champions of bookkeepers this year. Do
you want me to tell you who the other ones are off the top of my head?
Yeah.
Oh, Stephanie Marshall is one of the one of the finalists for that, because she's
one of the many categories she's
in. One of the many categories she's in. Let me just find it all.
Very well done to Stephanie Marshall. We've also got Zoe Whitman.
Yes, well done. Ask the Accountant, which is Aaron and Johan, isn't it? And all the stuff they do. And they Ask the Accountant is going to be there at the Bookkeepers Summit, doing their podcast pit stop, but they obviously for the day rebrand as Ask the Bookkeeper. It's very important. So yeah, so the finalists in the Bookkeepers Champion are Ask the Accountant, Chris Downing, Craig Ogilvy, Stephanie, we'd mentioned before, and Zoe Whitman. So that's good.
Yeah.
And Zoe and Joe are going to be there on stage as well. Joe hasn't got flu like she's got today, but they're going to be on stage at the Bookkeepers Summit talking about practice growth. And of course, they started with ICB, didn't they?
They did indeed. What success stories! Yeah. So we totally take the credit, don't we? But they're sharing their success, which is the best thing about bookkeepers, I think. There's no need to keep it in. So yes, bookkeepers sharing success is a real sort of key part of what the summit's about.
It's community of everything. Right. Okay. Sorry. And then back to I was just going to pull out some agenda highlights that we've got. Joe and Zoe there. We have a lovely lunch. Always a good lunch at the Bookkeepers Summit.
Yes.
And then we've got some really great case studies as well. So Claire Mannell, who's been running her practice for a long time, she's over a decade. She's got lots of she's got a team around her. So what she's going to be doing is sharing her journey. Sorry for being so X Factor about it, but she's been sharing her journey and just sharing her advice in terms of how her practice has grown. Now, the other person we've got who's coming along, who's got a similar journey to that, is Helen Bauer. And Helen had added bookkeeping for a long time, I think 20 years. Helen's got this great story that she set up her practice just to work part-time when her son was young. Sounds familiar, anyone? She wanted to have some agency over how she's spending her time. And then as her son grew, so did her practice, and she has had very successful practice. And now she sold her practice at the start of this year to Fresh Financials. So she's returning. She's going to be talking about gold standard skills in bookkeeping.
So, and they're both Luca Award winners, aren't they? Claire and obviously, yeah, Joe and Zoe as well have all won Luca Awards. Helen and Claire have also won Luca Awards as well. So senior bookkeepers who have got some real good stories to tell and have been there, done that, and want to share it so you can fast track your success as well.
Now, Amy, did you know what the largest rising group of people attending the Bookkeepers is?
That's interesting.
The largest sector. Let me tell you.
I don't know.
This year we've got more students than ever. I'm really pleased to have more students come along, and I think it's because we're running a really good student discount. So if you've got a student, Amy's surprised. If we've got a
deserve a discount, they're working very hard, and quite often they are squeezing in their studies around everything else they're doing.
Yeah, we know how hard it is. So we know that students can come along for 69 quid, which is great. You can choose to come to either the in-person or the virtual.
That's so brilliant. Definitely do that. And that's open to ICB students.
Yeah, so if you've got an ICB student membership grade, I know that there's going to be lots of members who are studying for level 4 and things like that. Sorry, it's not for you. This is for the people right at the start of their journey.
The newbies, the next gen.
Welcome them in.
And also, if you are thinking, you know, maybe this is the year I do that course, get yourself student registration and get yourself a cheaper summit ticket. I think that's a good idea. Also, likewise, if you're a bookkeeper who's standing next to a student, please tell them how you did it and share your success with them, because you do not need to be on stage, do you, to share these stories and your wisdom. It's so nice to help people. That's exciting. So how many students have we got?
We've got up to about 60 at the moment, so it's becoming a really large population of the summit, so it's going to be good. And also, it's just means new people are coming as well. We really want new, fresh faces, fresh blood. Fresh blood. So Renata's coming, which I'm really pleased about.
Renata's in the chat.
Yeah,
coming. We've also got ICB, ICFM Ukraine, our sister organisation in Ukraine, in the chat, but unfortunately not able to come to the summit this year. It's incredible that you have been able to come for the last few years, and you're always there. Helen Korokova, who many of you will know, is not able to come. But as always, our wishes are with you in Ukraine. But thank you for joining our chat. You're always going to be there in spirit. But yes, Renata, I remember when it was your first summit. And so, what are we doing to account for the newbies at Summit, Elizabeth?
Well, yes, I think there's an awful lot to do around setting up your practice as well. So we've got a good session from Helen and Sam, Helen Rogers and Sam Y, around pricing. So that's going to be really useful. But we're also talking about money laundering as well. Obviously, that's a big topic at the moment. We know we're hearing a lot about that. So about money laundering, but also about our professional standards. And that's the support that ICB can give our members around how to set up their practice in the right way, and service their clients in a way that they'd expect, that reaches our high standards. Really, we're going to be running an AML clinic, so we've got that opportunity for people to come along and talk to the professional standards team and ask your questions directly. So you'll be able to book into that nearer the time. The afternoon's really exciting because we've got Her Royal Highness Rebecca Bennyworth coming in. Now, the last couple of years, Rebecca Bennyworth has done the virtual sessions on the Wednesday and Thursday. This time we've got her in the room because we just think it brings a lot of value, but it also means that she'll be there for the day, so we can talk to her and just be better by osmosis, I think is the idea.
And coming to the Luca Awards?
And she's coming to the Luca
Presumably, she's a companion of ICB, isn't she? So, you get to meet Rebecca Bennyworth, but also it means you've got that challenge of trying to take in everything that she says live. So, yes, good luck to you there. But that's a real coup, I would say. So we're pretty excited about seeing Rebecca Bennyworth. And
tell us about your special guest in the afternoon.
Well, I get to have a lovely fireside chat with one of the people who I think really helped to put bookkeepers on the map. It is the very unique and one and only Gary Turner from Xero. So he was the guy that founded Xero in the UK back in the day, and he's always worked very closely with ICB, so it feels very personal to get him back up on stage. And we're going to be talking about everything, of course, but a little bit about the history and what it was like working with ICB in those early days, but also a little bit about tech, what's coming in the future. And now that he's not working at Xero, he's still heavily involved in a lot of different tech companies. He's an investor, so he knows a great deal about tech, but he's got a really interesting take on it. So we're going to be discussing that and sort of finding out from Gary what he thinks bookkeepers should be thinking about now in order to plan for the future. So I think that's going to be a really good one.
I think it's going to be a good one. You don't hear a lot from Gary, really. He's kind of quite...
He's such a humble chap, but he's very personable. It's so nice to meet people that have actually been tremendously successful. and they're so down to earth.
He's nice, isn't he? He's a nice person. Imagine
He's
being
so nice. And also the thing about Gary Turner is he came and spoke at the Bookkeepers Summit every year when he was MD of Xero, which just shows such dedication. And his mum was in fact a bookkeeper, and part of the reason he got into Xero was because seeing his mum on the kitchen table doing the books, and that's how he got into it.
I wonder who our bookkeepers are inspiring at the moment.
Well, exactly. Yes. Hopefully generation. I mean, lots of our bookkeepers employ their kids, don't they? Which I love.
Catherine Taylor has commented that she can't make the in-person summit this year. Sad times, Catherine. Will the AML info be shared on the virtual summit days? Yes, we've got another session on the virtual summit as well. So as a reminder then, you've got 2 days of virtual summit. Wednesday the 19th, Thursday the 20th. She says frantically checking the dates. Wednesday is a tech day, and that's a series of demos from our software partners. Now, the thing about this is they are demos for bookkeepers. You're having these products explained in the way that is useful to you and how you are using it, not your clients, not accountants. It's exclusively bookkeepers. So that's really important. And also Dexter running a really good workshop at the start of the day on Wednesday, which I would really recommend tuning into. On the Thursday, we run a whole other summit, a whole other virtual summit with completely different content. I know, we're mad. So, and that's a great session as well.
And you should come again. So anyone who goes to the in-person, your ticket includes the virtual, or you can just get virtual on its own. But there is value in coming to both, because the content isn't copy and paste. It's not the same. Although things like, the important stuff like AML is covered twice.
Yeah. It might be even slightly different because Gary's got more time, is the thing.
Sheila Chatter, sorry, I just want to say, Sheila Chatter mentions that at 16 she started a Pitman's course. And that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. But yes, we used to have lots and lots of Pitman students. So that's exciting. And you didn't become an accountant, but you married one. So that's good. I bet you work together very nicely. I would hope.
But I'm just assuming Sheila's a bookkeeper now. Yes,
I would assume so, Sheila. Either way, you and your husband should come to the summit, I'd say.
Because it's great lunch. I was just going to talk to you a little bit about the virtual summit, because we've got Rachel Harris kicking off.
Yes, she's a real star. She's a mega star.
She's a mega star, and she's our keynote speaker for the virtual. And what she's talking about is around running your business. And the fact that we know that we put you through the mill in terms of your exams and your sessions. And what Rachel's really focused on is supporting small businesses and small practice bookkeepers and accountants to make the most of their business. So that's going to be a really practical session. And talking to her about it, it's really it's going to be. I think it's going to be really empowering. She's very inspiring, isn't she, as well?
And she represents small businesses at government level as well, doesn't she? Mm-hmm. So she's making change happen as well.
Paul Atpin's also going to be joining us on the virtual summit.
He is absolutely always, I think, my total favourite speaker.
You're not allowed to have favourites, Amy.
If I were to have a favourite, because he's got this enormous breadth of knowledge, he's got such a wide viewpoint. He just brings it all together, doesn't he? I mean, I don't even know how you're billing his session, but he will be like, this has changed in tax. This is what's changing in France that we should know about. This, and this is why these shifts are occurring. And it just, I find him very, very interesting. And he's just such a good person, isn't he?
He's a nice guy.
And occasionally he'll talk about his dog, which, if you're a pet lover, that kind of thing really resonates.
and that's one of the reasons my hero's not allowed to come to the Bookkeepers Summit this year. We have got some really well-known names coming along, but also I think we've got some good up and rising stars. So we have got Natasha Everard.
Oh yes,
who champions the sole practitioner, and Lara Manton, and they're focusing on tech and their tech stack. So this is the idea of all the different types of software and how that you have to build your build your practice.
Mm.
But some new things that you might not have heard from, we've got Trevor Bradfield, who's talking about cybersecurity.
Very important.
Very few things that are going to be more important to your practice and how you protect your systems. And we've got people like Penny Allard's coming back with Catherine Freeman to talk about how you calculate your carbon footprint and run the report, your impact reports as well. So really pleased we've got that sort of sustainable angle covered. From an MTD point of view, Lee Coombs is going. He was a finalist, wasn't he, for Accounting Excellence Award, I think.
Yeah. Yes.
He's talking about a system that he's got in place around delivering MTD. So I think that's going to be an interesting one to learn from. And then finishing up just before the All Stars panel, which is always a great session, isn't it, Amy? We've got Tim Chilston from TCS Guernsey, who's got a very active practice in Guernsey. We went to see them, didn't we, Amy?
We did, yes. Yeah, we had a sort of an event with one of the vendors, didn't we? And used it as an excuse to go and see TCS Guernsey, and it was very sunny and very lovely. And I think he's a companion, isn't he? So he's a rising star, and they've been shortlisted for at least one Luca Award. Is it team?
Yeah, and they've got a student as well, I think.
And as well. So a fantastic practice. That is, they've got an office on the high street, and they put all of their newest recruits through the ICB learning pathway. So all of their recruits know exactly what exams they're going to complete. They all get qualified, and they've got just like a whole wall that's covered in ICB qualifications. So, if that is something you're interested in doing, they are the people to speak to. And also, if that's something you're already doing, we're the people to speak to. We want to know because we want to come visit.
Great. Okay, so I think we're almost wrapping up, but I just want to say about the Luca Awards, Amy. Do you want to talk a little bit about what that means to people and the emotional event of the year?
Yes, it's more than just a sort of wardrobe challenge, which of course it is because it's black tie. It is just this moment of just, I would say, kind of gratitude and celebration, isn't it? But there will be not a dry eye in the house, I don't think. They very much are the Oscars of the bookkeeping world, which is something that Gary Carter said 10 years ago. And more recently, the likes of Stephanie Marshall have completely credited themselves and making it up. But it's one of those things we've been saying, but it is very much true. Not least of all because the actual award that you get is this beautiful statuette that looks a little bit Oscar-like. But it's the whole thing is sort of celebrating Luca Pacioli, the sort of founding father of bookkeeping, in theory, because he wrote this book over 300 years ago about the process of bookkeeping and why it's so important and why business owners have to follow those pennies. But it's all about the sort of that history of bookkeeping, how long this has been a vital process to businesses, but bringing it right up to the very present and saying this year, these are the people that have really shone and done such great work. And it is so true. Even just taking part is kind of exceptional. And what's really nice, as you can predict, because you'll know the bookkeeping community well, everybody there is so supportive. So all of those people, they're not competitors, they're colleagues, really. So I think more than just sort of celebrating everybody who wins an award, it's an opportunity to sort of extend your network. But it is really special, isn't it?
It is. It's really lovely.
And it is massive. It's like 250, 300 people. So there are some award shows which are just vast, and it can be a bit of a struggle to feel like you've really, met everybody and spoken to everybody. But you can do that at the Luca Awards.
And it is a wardrobe challenge, Amy. No one's going to do that, but it's nice to go somewhere, get all dressed up.
Do you know what you're wearing yet?
No, I need to look into the cavernous wardrobe, the towers, and review that.
But a lovely gown is called for.
Absolutely, yeah. This is not a casual event. You need to go up. You need to get the finest.
Go for it. How often do we get to do it? And Millie from TCS Guernsey actually was saying they just see it as their end of year party, and Kirsty's sort of often said the same as well, Kirsty St. John. So it is it's a really good one to be in. And congratulations, Michal, who's over the moon, he says in the chat, for being a finalist in 2 categories. So yeah, that's really impressive.
Yes, because you were a finalist in 1 last year, and then so you've got 2 this year. It's great.
I think also maybe it becomes a little bit addictive, does it? Once you've been in once, you just can't. You've got to keep going, got to improve.
Good luck to all the finalists.
Okay. And then there's dancing afterwards, isn't there? So
that's what I was going to say.
You all get dressed up, and it's all very, impactful and meaningful. But also, there's a chance to let your hair down as well, isn't there? And the cool thing is, you've got Chris Downing on the dance floor, tearing it up. So it's it's the bookkeepers, it's ICB, it's all of our vendors. There's a few people often from other professional bodies as well. So there's a lovely mix of people having a great time.
Oh, and so just before we finish, I did want to say this thing about, we keep on saying it's very welcoming, but also we do have a buddy scheme. So we know that if you haven't been to something like this before, or even if you haven't, you're not feeling great about walking into a room, that Helen Bauer, who we talked about earlier, runs a buddy scheme. She did this last year. And she's going to do it again. So we've got a form on the website. I'll put a link in here as well. Jasmine can put a link in there if she's watching. That you can just put your details down. You'll be added to a WhatsApp group. You'll be met at the door, and you can walk in with people. And Helen will show you about. So it's just
so nice.
Just getting over it.
I did. That's how I opened the Bookkeepers Summit last year. I said, this is the event where everybody knows your name. Or if they don't, they will very soon. I stole that, I think, from Cheers. But it's so true. We want everyone to feel welcome. So come and, even if you're not in the buddy scheme officially, which you should be if you want to be, come and say hi and speak to everybody that you want to meet.
Oh, and the other thing I was going to say, so I keep on trying to finish this, and then I keep on thinking about things to say, is about taking your suppliers to task, in that this is a time to get face to face with your software providers, and if there is something that you don't like or that you do like, you let them know, and a lot of them are really open to listening in terms of the improvements that they can make. It's just a great way to start that relationship. It is a two-way thing. It's not just you as a customer having to take what they are producing. You need to tell them what it is that you need, the tech you need to run your practice, and to service your clients. So that's another good idea.
And all the vendors that are there take bookkeepers' opinions seriously. So that's why you can do that. Obviously, don't go and moan at them, but give them.
No, so I didn't mean, yes, I didn't mean that.
Because they might not come next year, but they want your constructive feedback. And so many vendors say to me, "Oh God," and it has to happen time and time again, where they've said, "We feel like your bookkeeper is now the benchmark. So we're always thinking we need to impress." Name of bookkeeper. So I remember back there was Sarah Douglas, then there was Anne Mason, and these vendors saying that we now use this. Your bookkeeper has become this sort of persona in our business where we are always trying to impress this bookkeeper. So as it should be.
I expect you're wondering how much this all costs, Amy.
No, because I know it's great value. So I would just book that ticket blindly. I'd stick that on the business card, and I'd make sure I was there, because I'd have such bad FOMO.
Absolutely, the price on the website is priceless.
It's not as expensive as your travel is going to be, I suppose. The travel is going to be expensive, but the travel is worth it because you want to be there. If the travel's too much, you can go virtually. And the virtual is just as fabulous, and there's such a sense of community on the virtual as well, isn't there? So hopefully it's going to be nice and flexible for you. But yeah,
great. Next week, this time next week, I'll be talking to a Free Agent. So Free Agent have been a big partner for us, and we know how much Free Agent are going to be doing. How much Free Agent are doing in the NTD space. Yeah. So Marianne from Free Agent is going to come and chat to me about what people could expect. I also like to know what merch we can expect as well.
Oh, that's a really good idea, actually. I've been loving the merch recently. Feeling very, very fortunate to have loads of merch. I don't have any on my desk right now.
Free Agent do really good socks.
Yes, yes, great free agent socks. My husband was very happy. Pick some stuff up for the kids. I'm actually still back into the water bottles. I think there was a moment where I had too many water bottles. Now I don't have enough, because the kids take them to school. So that's very useful. So yes, Laura Holmes, we are so looking forward to seeing you when you come. So yeah, some good merch. Obviously, use the merch in a responsible, sustainable way. But if you're using it as much as most of us are, then I think it's worth it, isn't it?
Great. Are we done? We happy?
I think so. I know you've got loads more to get us excited about. I think we're done, and I'm so pleased Hero the cat was here to join us as well.
Yes, he's a key feature of everything. I'm sorry to hear. It's a shame not to have Jo here, and we'll rearrange it so she can come and chat about everything. But Jo
she'll be at the Luca Awards.
She'll be on the dance floor.
She will certainly be on the dance floor, yes. So if you need to see Jo, come and see her at the summit. And Zoe will be there as well. And yeah, it's going to be absolutely tremendous. So thank you for joining us today. And hopefully, Sheila, we will get to see you at the Bookkeepers Summit. And anybody else who's listening, just beeline for the Bookkeepers Summit.
We'll see you there.
Have a good one. Have a great afternoon. Bye.